Here we go. It looks like we're preparing here, just getting ready to go live. It's coming live. There we go. There we go. Hello, friends. Hello, family. How are you doing? Coach John here. Just jumping on with all of you today. I've made a new friend, and I love it when I make a new friend. I like to introduce my friends to my community. I like to share my friendships and my relationships. I think this is how change happens, is through communication, through relationship, through dialogue. That's how change happens. That's how we change ourselves in our lives. That's how we heal ourselves in our lives. That's what I'm always talking about, healing myself, making my life better. I like to help people make their life better. I like to bring other people who are also working on making their life better together, because I think that it's great to hear the message from a different voice in a different way. Sometimes we hear it in a different way when it just comes from somebody else. So I just want to, introduce Luisa, with who's here with me today, and I would love to, have her share a little bit about herself. First, like, just start, Luisa, by telling us about you. Like, what do you do? Why do
Right.
you do it? What happened? What made you? What did you learn? What did you change? What are you doing now? What's warm on your heart? Please share. And I'm just gonna make some notes and ask some questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you and with everybody. And so just a little bit background about myself. I'm a French teacher. I teach French. So I'm very passionate about teaching French. I have a very animated style of teaching. So I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to work out, and I bring that energy into my classroom. So we're always moving, we're always like exercising when we're learning new vocabulary words and that. So it's really fun. I enjoy bringing my personality and my excitement and passion about French into the classroom. I am also a business owner. I have a business in interior design and home staging, which I am also very passionate about. I love connecting with clients and just renewing their spaces and just bringing life to what they already have, because a lot of people have incredible, amazing pieces in their home. They just need a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of moving around, and then their whole space is transformed with just what they already have and then bringing new things in. And I love that because we're like that in our lives, right? Everyone has amazing personalities and happy and joyful and all of these incredible qualities. And sometimes we have the self-doubt and the fear and the depression and all of these negative thoughts that kind of creep up in our head. And we just need a little bit of transformation and renewing of our minds in that way. So I like to bring the connection between both of my interior design as well as my new vision that actually it wasn't my vision, it was God's vision to just start a wellness journey and to just share that with others and to help them transform and renew their minds from the inside and on the out. Yeah, so that's kind of my history in terms of what I do. I do a lot, I have a lot of passions, but I'm just really excited about so many things. And I think if we could use our talents to inspire and to love on others, then go for it. Right?
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love what's happening with you. You're on a wellness journey.
Yeah,
I
I
love
truly
that.
am. Hmm. I feel that I'm 44, and I feel that I've always been involved in wellness in terms of eating healthy and working out, going to the gym and being committed to my personal growth, to my faith, which is very, very important to me. But my life was like a roller coaster ride and all of those areas. And I don't like roller coasters. I mean, going to Canada's Wonderland as a youth, I would never be on the roller coasters. And yet my life was like that in those areas in terms of faith and health and personal development. And what I mean is that, always reading the word and going to church and being part of youth groups and everything that encompasses from what faith is all about, and really being strong in that area. And then other times I would be like, I'm not going to church, I'm not reading my Bible, and I would just become a different person in terms of my health. For example, always eating salad, always eating fruit, working out, and then other times I would be like, okay, not go to the gym for weeks and eat the junk food. And it was just like up and down, up and down. And then same thing with my personal development, like reading tons of books. I have tons of books, go to seminars, go to workshops, listen to, professors and take classes. And then at times my personality wouldn't reflect what it is that I had learned. So I was on and off within all of these areas, and just a roller coaster ride. And that was much like how my marriage was. It was just happy and then sad and then happy and sad. And I got to a point where I realized that I don't want my life to be on this roller coaster ride anymore, that I want to be consistent with these areas in my life that I know can bring prosperity, that I know can help me achieve the success that I wanted in my life. Because you could be successful, in your career but being successful in your heart and loving yourself completely and wholly and consistently is something different. And that's what I lacked. And it wasn't until I turned about 40. I'm all about numbers, and 40 is a very spiritual, biblical, like it has a lot of significance and it's very special to me. And I feel like at 40, I had the big Hollywood theme birthday bash. It was absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. The red carpet, I had awards for everybody, like Golden Globes, and it was really, really fun. And my friends and family made me the star of the show when I was trying to make them the star, And I just sat and I listened to everything that they were saying. And I was like, I don't believe anything that they were saying. And that made me think, like, this is not right. Like, I should really be feeling and valuing myself and loving myself 100% and viewing myself in the way that they view me. And at that moment, for example, something just happened, and I realized that this is the moment that I have to really, really take action and put into place everything that I had learned in my faith, everything that I learned regarding my health, everything that I've learned regarding my personal development, and really put it into action and being consistent with all of those things. And I did that, and I pushed through, and I just really made it happen. And now I can say that I'm extremely happy and that I love myself, that I put myself first, and that I'm consistent with the actions that I need to do in order to make it happen.
So that's amazing. That's an amazing story. I like that you saw the disconnect, like this is it. It's like you see a disconnect. Sometimes people practice affirmations, or
Right.
you might think about gratitude. Sometimes people talk about practicing gratitude or thankfulness,
Absolutely.
or abundance. You're practicing self-belief or self-worth or self-value. These are things to practice. But sometimes maybe when you say those words like, I am strong and I believe in myself and I love myself, and then sometimes you feel like, but I don't. but I don't really, or that's not really true about me. Or, you know, you kind of go through a little bit of a separation between maybe what you're thinking or saying, or what you're hearing, in this case, what you were hearing from your friends, and then what the voice inside of your own mind was saying to yourself. And then this is how you see the little bit of separation. And this is what I like to talk about. It's just really a little microscopic change of perception that changes everything in our life. Like, it's really like, oh, all my friends love me to bits, but I don't love me to bits. And that makes all the difference in my life. Like,
100%. I love what you said. It's practicing the affirmations, because there are so many times that we don't feel all of these positive things, but if we put things into practice, it becomes a habit. So you might not feel it in that moment, but if you say it every single day, then you'll just wake up one day like I did and be like, wow, this is really how we're supposed to feel. So I encourage that as well, is the positive affirmations before your feet even touch the ground in the morning. Before you set foot on the ground, to say those positive affirmations, to say those declarations that I am loved, that I am a child of God, that I can do all things, that I'm full of energy, that I'm full of life, that I'm victorious, that I'm powerful, that I am balanced, that I can just complete all things because I'm complete. And I'm just getting biblical, which I hope, you know, that because that's where when I start talking about it, it's like God's energy just comes through. But anyways, it's like, and he's amazing and has done so many transformation in my life. So I encourage that as well. But the positive affirmations, you say it in the morning, you're setting yourself up for success, because then when that negative thought is creeping up in your head throughout the day, you have that positive thought that you could use to fight that negative emotion, right? Because we can't fight our thoughts with thoughts. I believe that we fight our thoughts with words, and our words are like a weapon. And it's amazing. Like, we don't need the actual tangible weapon, but we need the words to evoke that emotion. Like, does that make sense? Like, we're using that powerful authority that we have over our life through the words, and our words will help us to feel better about ourselves. Our words will help us to overcome that situation. Our words will help us to overcome that circumstance in a positive way, right? So I love that you said the word practice, because we all know that we need to say positive things. We all know that we need to work out. We all know that we need to drink water and do all these things. But unless you're actually practicing doing it, it's not going to become a habit, right? So I love the positive affirmations. I encourage too, is to write them on the wall. And if you have children at home, or even if you don't, with a friend, I do everything with my kids. Like, my kids are like my everything. We're together like all the time, you know, and most parents are, which is great. But I think there's a difference when you're connecting with them and they're doing the things that you do. For example, like these positive affirmations, we just, like, I have them in my office here. It's just like getting a sheet of paper, or I have the teacher side in me. So get construction paper, make hearts, or make, you know, a soccer ball, or whatever it is that you can connect with, and write those positive affirmations, you know, on that shape, or on that card, or on that post-it note, and plaster them all over the house, in cupboards, like in your kitchen cupboard, in your bathroom cupboard, on your mirror, so that you could be constantly reminded. It doesn't need to be something that you're doing on your own, but with your family, and include your family in them. They shouldn't know, they should know what you're feeling and what you're trying to achieve. And then that will carry on with them as well, right? As seeing those positive affirmations, and you'll begin to remember them and memorize them and meditate on them, reflect on them. So when we see them all the time, we become connected, I believe, with those words and with those images as well. And I have them plastered all over the house. It's good. It's good. And then we switch them up and we try to have a competition, like who's going to memorize the most that week, right? So it's fun.
I love what
Just
you said there about the voice, about words. I love what you said about kind of managing the the dark thoughts with your words, your positive affirmations. So, when we think about things, we get a thought. To take it from a thought to bring it into reality, the next step from thought to reality is word. So it's like a step up. Like first it's in your mind, it's like a dream. And then when you actually speak it out,
mm-hmm.
that's when it starts to become a reality. Now it comes from something, it's in the mind. When it's a thought, like you can't touch a thought, you can't feel a thought really. A thought can start to generate a feeling inside of you if you sit with a thought. But to go to the next level is either take it to feeling, visualizing that thought and making a feeling, or taking it to voice, where you speak that thought out and then you can speak it over yourself so you can hear it, or you can actually make it even more powerful when you speak it to somebody else. Like that's when the power really starts to come. It starts to go from a dream into something that it's a goal when you start to tell somebody else about it. Once you take your voice and you say, here's what I want to do, now you become accountable. When you've told another soul, when two or more come together, there I be. So when you bring your two voices, your two souls together, and you start dialoguing about this, then that puts a lot more power together. The power of two souls coming together. Then you start speaking your goals, your ideas, affirmations that are in your mind. You start sharing them with one another, and you start talking about expanding that affirmation into a vision. So, like, I want to get healthy. I am getting healthy. I am healthy is the affirmation. But how to create a vision from that? What does that look like? What does me being healthy actually look like? Like, what do I need to do in order for that? So it builds from that first affirmative thought. I am getting healthy. I am fixing my relationship. I am changing my health. I am changing my career, my business, my wealth, my future. I am changing my life. Now let's have some dialogue about what that looks like. It's like I've stated my goal. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Because there's life in the power of the tongue. Are you going to choose life or are you going to choose death? Right? And I think how we begin to do that is having a vision. And we can have all these ideas and all these thoughts in our mind about what we want, but there is something different about when we actually write it down and speak that, like as you were just saying, and looking at the vision. So goal set, I know a lot of people don't do this, but I think for me, this is what has helped me is to actually write down what it is that I want for my life. What are the goals? I actually did a goal setting workshop earlier this year, and I found that so many people that did that, started writing things down, they started connecting with their goals because they were seeing it all the time. They were speaking it all of the time. They were seeing it. They were connecting to it. I did a vision board. I just want to show you if that's okay. And remember, I'm a teacher, so right? So, getting like a Bristol board and just kind of putting images on it that, I put, some music on, has some friends over. And I mean, you could do this as well. It's super, super fun. And just have like girls' night out kind of thing, have your music on, lots of magazines. and you just begin to be in like a state of just relaxation and just looking through the images. It's like you're picking out things that you like, that you respond to, that you connect to. And then at the end, it's like you have this whole vision board that you might not know exactly what it means in that moment, because for me there were a lot of things on here that I wasn't really sure about what it meant. But every day I would look at it. Every day I would pray about it. And I would move it to like different areas of my house, because that's kind of, monotonous workout routines, right? When you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, there's that disconnect, right? You just kind of, I'm doing the same thing over, and then if it's in the same spot, you're looking at it. And anyways, it's just when it moves to a different spot, when you do something different, you just have a different perspective and different outlook. And then I started looking at it, and I would just connect to it in a different way. And by the end of the year, I started realizing that these things were actually flourishing, and these things were actually happening in my life. And I really encourage to write down your goals, to create a vision board, because that will set you up for success, because it will get you excited. It will build that energy inside you that, yeah, I want this to happen. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds good. Like your place, your solitude, cottage living, that words of wisdom. You're the inspiration. Like I have this one section here that says right here, you are the inspiration, words of wisdom, make a difference, contagious attitude, positive power, believe you can, and you're halfway there. At the time, I was like, I don't know what this means. But as the year passed on, people started saying things to me like, you're inspiring me, you're helping me, like. And then I started to connect, wow, I am making a difference in their life by my actions, by my words. And my vision was coming to life. So the connection is real. If you actually do it, it will happen. It will happen, right? Versus, it's like those words, right? I have to go to work versus I get to go to work, right? I have to do this. I get to do this. What is the reward? What is the success? What is that positive feeling you're going to get when you achieve everything
Words
on your
are so
vision board?
important. I love
Yeah.
it. I love that you're writing it down and creating a vision board and talking about that. I love what you said about turning 40 also, like just after 40, I think it makes a big difference. I do believe there's a change in life that happens 40 or 50, somewhere in here. We come to our midlife and we have to make some new decisions in our life. And I like what you're saying about vision, because you see, the masculine is the affirmation, it's the starting point. I am getting healthy. It's a decision. Now I start speaking that over myself, or I sit with that idea, and then that's how I come to the vision. If I sit with the decision, I am healthy, it starts to form the vision. So the masculine decision, I am healthy, stimulates the feminine or the feeling to become creative. This is how the feminine and the masculine work together. The masculine is the inspiration or the seed, and the feminine takes the seed and creates life with it. So she creates the feelings or the vision. So you take I am healthy and you grow it into a vision, it creates the vision board. You start looking at the vision board and talking about the vision. You start getting hopeful. You start getting excited. You start feeling the fruit or the feelings of putting your thoughts in alignment with your goals. So this is how it happens. You start getting a vision, a hopeful vision about where you want to go, rather than thinking about your problems, because we've all got problems, right? It's easy to get stuck thinking of the problems and talking about the problems. We've all got them. We can all focus on the problems, or we can focus on where we're going and what we're doing and what we want to go and do.
Right. So true. Yeah, it creates the hope, it creates the desire, it
Oh,
creates all of those things that we need to do to put into action to make that vision come to life.
yes.
And yeah.
Please continue. I'm just going to plug in my my battery here. I feel like I've got a little look like a little battery problem, but
Oh,
please
okay.
continue. With your exercise and nutrition. I know that's a big part of your life as well too. I'm always trying to
Yeah.
tell people to do this. I'd love to hear a little bit about you and your exercise.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how we connected. I love that your vision as well in terms of like the health and the fitness journey. So as I mentioned before, I've always been involved into health and fitness, and as a single mom, I know how hard it is to find time, right? With career and teaching and staging and everything that's going on in our life, our social life and this and that. The time is always the biggest thing, right? And I struggled with the consistency. I struggled with the motivation. I had the monotonous workouts. And once I put myself on the priority list, once I decided to become part of a team, for me, that's when things change because I was doing things in my own strength. I'm like, all I need is the salad and that's fine. Or all I need to do is just, this YouTube video and when I was going to the gym, I would just talk most of the time because I'm just that social person. I just talk to everybody, which is super fun. And I had great memories, but I want results, right? I want results. And the only way to get results is to take action to make it happen, right? And with the right mindset, with the right team, with the right nutrition program, like a life of, physical, of mental, of emotional stability, that can truly be achievable if you have the right tools in place and not just think, well, like I did, I could do it all. And, but I can't do it all, right? So that internal dialogue began to shift. Like I said, when I turned 40, I said, I want to do this. I want to make it happen. I got involved in an incredible program that I'd been keeping my eye on for like a few years. And I just went for it, like 3, 2, 1, go. And I just did it. And I tried the program. And within 21 days, I saw results that I wanted. Like I wanted those lines, I wanted the lines and the abs and stuff. And I remember calling my coach and be like, is this normal? Is this possible? And she's like, yep, it's possible. It's possible because you're doing the work, right? Like every day you're working out, every day you're getting in the right mindset because you can't do it without the right mindset. And for me, like as we were saying earlier, it's about the positive affirmations, like before you work out, or before you're even going to prepare your food, right? Like say the positive affirmations. For me, it's like prayer, right? And I enjoyed every part of it. And now it's just a habit because I practiced it faithfully. I practiced it consistently. My family saw it, my kids saw it, and now they're on board with it. And it's not something that I, force them into. It's something that they saw me doing, and then they naturally began to see, wow, mom's happier, mom's like, even more energetic. So I think I'm naturally I've been naturally born with just this exuding positivity, but I have my moments. But at the same time, it's like it's a different happiness, right? And they see that, and it's, I was never good in the kitchen. I would just make the simple, and I come from an Italian family, so it's kind of odd to be Italian and not be good in the kitchen, right? But for me now, I am always in the kitchen. I'm always in the kitchen, and we are always baking sweets. healthy sweets. I didn't even think that was possible, and we're just constantly like, even my kids, they're young, they're like 14 and 12 and now they're in their teens, but this has been going on for years where we're meal prepping, we're planning our meals, the kids are watching the videos, the recipes and what to make, and they know how to read the labels. It's something that we're growing in together, because I think it's so important that we want to raise our children in the way that they should go, and it's just become part of their lifestyle to work out, to exercise, and to stretch, and to look at the recipes and make sure that there's healthy ingredients. And so for me to be able to spend so much time in the kitchen and making these awesome meals, especially sweets, which it's just an incredible thing. So the consistency with the program, the excitement of the workout videos, it's just been amazing and transforming for me. So now I make the time. There's never enough time to do anything, right? Everyone says that. The number one thing, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to make a healthy meal. But if you make it a priority in the same way that you make an appointment to get your hair done, or you go to the doctor, or Friday night with the girls, or whatever it is that is so important to you that you won't miss, you need to do that with regards to your workouts. Even if it's like a 20-minute workout, get a calendar. I always recommend to get a calendar to write down when is a good time to work out with your family. I really think it's important to do things with somebody, because the accountability is there with that. But if you write on your calendar, you're not going to miss that appointment with yourself, because you have it on your calendar. You have your phone alarm coming off, or your friend that you're working out with is calling you because 7 o'clock you're working out. You've scheduled that time with yourself and with your family, because that's another excuse, I think, is, oh, I have kids, I have kids, right? I have kids, they make me, I'm busy with them. Well, your kids can become part of your workout, even if they're small and tiny and they're like crawling all over your legs or whatever. They'll see that you are exercising, right? You have to retrain them. It's within the first 5 years, they say, right? But I think that it's important to engage the family into the transformation that you want in your life. And if you don't have kids, then you could call a friend and get an accountability partner. But there is time if you choose to make the time. So a calendar, I think, is extremely important, and definitely it helps with accountability for sure. And I know that that's another reason that people find difficult to commit to their workouts and to commit to eating healthy. But as we were talking earlier, if you practice the affirmations, if you practice eating healthy, if you practice just writing it in your calendar that you're going to work out, yeah, maybe in the beginning you're not going to work out every day, but you might work out once. And then the next week you'll work out twice. And then the week after you'll work out 3 times. So it's a progression over time. And or break up your workouts, right? Like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, 10 minutes stretch. Whatever it is that you could do to be active. Sometimes what I do for my abs or stretch while the dinner is cooking, that 20 minutes or 30 minutes while the banana bread's in the oven, you could just go to go work out in the family room, go while the kids are doing this and that, do things together. Like, there's always time if you make it happen. So I think that's a good tool. It's that calendar. Make time for yourself.
I wrote down a couple things that you said there that I thought were really important. One, you just said it, over time through practice. I like that. I think I say that a lot, but I loved how you shared it. That it doesn't come in an instant, but like you said, the first week maybe you go once, the second week maybe twice. Maybe it's not 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before you go twice. And then, maybe it's another 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before you go 3 times, before you feel inspired to go 3 times. But this is how it happens. Over time, you become inspired to go more, to do more, because you start to see and feel more happening in your life. So it's not sometimes, the other thing I wrote down was that you said, yeah, the workouts, but you're not going to be successful without the mental. Like, workout is a physical thing. Nutrition is a physical thing, but you won't be successful with those physical things unless you got the mental thing right. And that's the thing. People sometimes they go, well, I don't want to talk about the mental. I just want to know the workout, and I just want to know the meal plan. Like, just give me the meal plan, that just tell me what I got to eat and tell me what I got to do. How many times do I got to do it? I just need to lose 10 pounds. But listen, you're not going to lose the 10 pounds, or you're going to gain it right back again unless you make a change in your mind.
That's right.
It has to be a change of mind, else you're going to be right back here in 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years because you failed again. Because if you keep going at it with just the physical approach, just calories in and calories out, and just numbers of sets and reps and pushing yourself, if you think that this is what this health is about, well, then you're just going to end up in the same place, unhealthy, because this is not what health is about. Health, if you want to get healthy, it's about taking charge of your mindset. You need to get a healthy mindset before you're going to find a healthy body and a healthy relationship and a healthy business.
And I think that is so amazing, and just what you're saying, because it does start with the mind. I went on kind of like a healing journey. I took a year off of all of my work and career, and I traveled around all of the places that I wanted, that were on my list of places to see. And every place that I saw dealt with a different character trait. And, my adventurous side, my fun side, my faithful side, just everything was absolutely amazing. And when I came back from all of that travel, I looked at all my goals and I was like, wow, I overcame all of these things. And you know what the last thing was? It was my fitness. The last thing was my fitness. And since then, that's when I've been consistent. So I spent the year focusing on my mind, strengthening my faith, strengthening my relationship with God, dealing with the grieving process of, grieving my marriage. And then I was like, there's something missing. And what that was like, what can I do to take action regarding my health, regarding my fitness, nutrition? And I felt so ready and felt so empowered, and everything fell into place. So I really believe that as well, is everything is a balance. Everything comes together. And that's why I'm like, faith plus mindset plus health equals success and equals happiness. Yeah, I feel
love that. I love that. Something else I wrote down, and you touched on it again right there. I wrote it down earlier. You talked about self-doubt, fear, depression, and a renewal of the mind. I put down renewal of the mind. You mentioned self-doubt, fear, and depression as things that stop us, things that get in the way. Like if you're not believing in yourself, if you don't believe you can, if you don't think and speak like you can, like you've got some belief, some self-belief, if you don't have value or worth, if you're fearful, or if you've got some depression, like some emotional baggage, like some trauma, like something happened in your life that's, throwing you off track, until you kind of mend that little emotional thing, like come to some acceptance with it, or come to some sort of peace with it, or some sort of forgiveness of yourself and the other. If you can't find this emotional healing part, then you're going to get bogged down by that shadow emotional stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It life is about all of those things, right? Like dealing with what is going on in our mind that's preventing us from working out, that's preventing us from being consistent. So it's a whole renewal and a whole transformation when you decide to commit to loving yourself, when you decide to commit to making yourself a priority. um, and I feel that those negative experiences, those hardships, those struggles, all of those things that have impacted our life in a negative way, I feel are used for good. I feel like we got to use those experiences instead of dwelling on them in the negative, but to use them as fuel and as energy to transform our mind. Like, not stuck in the past, not stuck from things that have happened from past generations and the baggage, like you were saying. But let's use that as energy to help others, to help inspire others, to help overcome everything that we've done. And that's what I feel like everything that's happened. I mean, my kids are great. The separation, the divorce hasn't impacted them in a negative way. And I really hope, as a teacher, I hear often that the kids are put in the middle, and I feel like they shouldn't. It's between the adults, and the kids unfortunately go through that negative thing, and my kids didn't experience that, which I'm so grateful for. But I think that, yeah, if we could use that and that same energy that we have to complain, that same energy that we have to say those fearful thoughts and that negative thoughts, if we could use that same energy that we invest into all of that noise in our head and do the same thing with the positive affirmations, this will not take years and years of work to do. This could happen for me like 21 days. This could happen right away if you're ambitious, if you're using the resources, if you're having a good support system. Support is so crucial. The motivation, I feel that a support system is very crucial in success to this transformation. You need to surround yourself with people that have that positive mindset, that are going to get you out of that negative state. It's really making choices about who you want to be around with. And unfortunately, sometimes they're people that are close to you, but you need to break away from the people that are maybe causing the influence that you don't really want. And maybe it just means taking a break from them for a while and then revisiting it when you have that strength and you have that power. But I think that writing things down, like encompassing what we've been talking about this past little bit, is writing the goals down, creating the vision, connecting to it, speaking it with our mouth, like confessing it. Like so many times we've got our mask on, right? We can talk to ourselves. We can talk to ourselves throughout the day, right? But just using the positive affirmations, all of these things, it will help that transformation. And for me, connecting it with God is number one. But infusing it all together, you can make change. You can do it. You can do it. You could do this. You could do this.
I loved what you said there. I feel like we're all conscious creators. We're all creating. And I like what you said. If you could move your vision from creating worried thoughts, if you could move your vision from worrying about the sickness, the disease, the marriage, the finances, the health, if you could stop worrying about it and move it to a vision of seeing it like manifesting or creating the way you want it. So it's just a real shift of perspective a little bit with your vision. Instead of like having this vision of worry, instead of having this fearful vision of failure, I'm going to get sick. I'm worried about getting sick. I'm protecting myself from sickness rather than I'm getting healthy and I'm making myself healthy and I'm taking charge of my health. It's a different frame of mind from like worrying about something to like stepping into your power in it and taking the command seat and like I'm driving the car away from the mess, like I'm the creator and I'm creating something wonderful for myself.
Yeah. And you said manifest. So in my workshops too, I talk about manifesting. If you are speaking negatively, you're going to manifest negativity, right? If you're going to speak positivity over your life, you're going to manifest positivity. And that's what I've realized, that we are capable of so much just with our words. Our words are a real powerful tool. And I just realized, like in the past, I would say couple of years, that the words are so powerful and do have influence over your life to make it happen. And I think that we should just speak life. There's a song called Speak Life. I taught like over 900 students this song. I encourage you to Google it or post it after. It's called Speak Life. And my kids to this day, when they see me in the hall, or they're older now, or I bump into them at the store, whatever, they remember that song, Speak Life, Speak Life. If that's just one thing that you could take away from today, is the two words, Speak Life, then, and say that for the next, few hours until tonight, I just feel that you'll begin to smile a little bit more. Speak life.
So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Luisa. I hope that you and I can connect and do something more together. Is there something that you'd like to share that's really warm on your heart, that you're really passionate about? Maybe something that you're doing that you'd like to share with my community at all? Is there anything that you'd like to?
Yeah, actually, I'm super excited about, like, my whole make it happen vision, is because I've realized that it's really up to us to make it happen. And that's why my community, my wellness community, is called Make It Happen. And make it happen in your faith, and build a strong relationship with God, and make it happen in terms of getting physically fit and eating well and developing that strong mindset, and all three together. And I had a self-love event last month, and it was very successful, and I'm excited about doing a weekend event on those same topics at the spa. Women, we love spa, and I haven't been, and I used to go every month pre-COVID. It was like my monthly getaway. I don't need to travel to a faraway place. I just need to, drive an hour away, and the spa was like my thing. It was
Where
like,
is it?
well, I haven't finalized the location yet. There's two places I have in mind, but I'm looking forward to my Spring into Happiness event in the spring, and that's going to encompass all three areas of life, and we could enjoy learning about ourselves, to loving ourselves, over a nice massage. At the spa. So I'm excited about that. It's called Spring into Happiness. Yeah.
Awesome. Maybe we got to team up for something for the spring or summer. I would love to do that with you.
Oh,
It's been
that
so
would be
fun catching up with you today. So fun
for
getting
sure.
to meet you, and I've really enjoyed it. So thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for including me. I feel very, very special. I think you're amazing. I think you're doing great. I think you're transforming lives. And I just love to see the energy and the love that you're sharing with others. So thank you for having me. I can't
Oh,
wait to
thank
talk again.
you.
Okay.
Awesome. See you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Have a super
Bye.
day.